Tata Power is at the forefront of building India's EV charging network.
We have nearly 130,000 home chargers which are there, and this is right across the country.
That's a big feat for sure.
The availability of the charger is more than 98-99%. The cost of charging in India is very, very low. It's 1/10 the cost of the normal petrol car.
Tata Power. Sustainable is attainable. Road to green.
India's EV sector is at the cusp of a revolution, with over 1.5 million EVs sold in FY24, which is a 50% year-on-year jump. And with global giants like Tesla eyeing the Indian market, electric vehicles are fast moving from niche to mainstream. But achieving the country's EV Vision 2030 with 30% vehicle electrification hinges on much more than consumer demand. It requires rapid infrastructure expansion, policy reforms, and deep industry collaboration. Today, as a part of Network 18 Road to Green initiative, Tata Power Sustainable Is Attainable Special Edition, we are joined by a very special guest, Dr. Praveer Sinha, CEO and MD of Tata Power. And we all know Tata Power is at the forefront of building India's EV charging network. And to unpack what it will take to power India's electrified future, the latest technology shifts, and the innovations shaping consumer experience, let's get going with this conversation. Dr. Sinha, such a pleasure to have you with us on the show. And all we can talk about this big EV revolution. We spoke about the numbers. EV sales are surging now. We have this big entrant who's come into the market, Tesla. Tata Power is in the infrastructure as well when it comes to EV charging. But just from the consumer landscape, how are you seeing that shift that's coming by when it comes to consumer demanding more EVs?
First of all, thank you for having me on the show, Sonal. Always a pleasure to be part of the green initiatives. I think Tata Power has, right from the beginning, nearly 5 years back, has been in the forefront. And we always thought that when we talk of energy transition, it's not about just the energy usage in homes or factories or offices, but also the energy transition in mobility that we need to work on. And we have been, right in the beginning, decided that we will be right across the public charger, the home charger, and also charging for the transportation, that is the bus chargers and the fleet chargers. And we have, over a period of time, set up huge number of charging infrastructure in the country. We have nearly 130,000 home chargers which are there, and this is right across the country. We have nearly 6,000 public chargers, and these again are on highways as also in nearly 400 cities. And also we have the bus chargers, and you can go to Srinagar and you will see the bus chargers which are installed by Tata Power. Of course, they support the Tata Motors mobility landscape. And you go to Bangalore and you will see that, or you come to Mumbai. So we put huge number of electric bus chargers across the country. And we strongly believe, and this is not just about a business, but also a faith and conviction that we need to support the green transition in mobility, and we should be one of the front runners in this.
Tata Power has always been vocal about that, right? That's what the tagline says as well. Sustainable is attainable. You spoke about 120,000 home chargers, 6,300 plus public, semi-public chargers over 500 plus cities. That's a big feat for sure. But do you think people still have the issue around range anxiety, because that's something that's been a concern? So what's Tata Power's expansion plans, not just in urban centers? If we talk about other places in the country as well, yes, you're available at most of the places, but what is the expansion plan going forward?
So you are absolutely right that there is a range anxiety. And especially when people are traveling intercity on highways from one city to another city, and how do we cater to that requirement? We fully understand our responsibility, and we are out of the 600 highways, state and national highways, we are on nearly 350 highways. The challenge is usage is much low in terms of public charging infrastructure, and that is typically because people are apprehensive that when they drive on highways whether they will get a charger or not. People are also waiting for more models of vehicles to come, whether it is SUVs or hatchbacks or sedans. And it's only this year that we have seen that there has been some new additions which have come in the market. And I do expect that over the next few years, we will have more choices for the customers. And that's where the penetration of electric vehicle will increase and the usage of the chargers will increase.
Oh, definitely. If you have more choice, people will go ahead and be able to make smarter choices, and definitely then electric chargers will be of better use, as you said. I was looking at some of the data as well, and we have seen that India has targeted around 50,000 electric buses by 2030, and right now commercial fleets are already making up a larger share of EVs which are sold when it comes to bigger vehicles. So what is Tata Power's plan to support these segments? These are not the usual ones where you can take a shorter trip. These will be long distance transportation. How is it different from your approach when it comes to passenger EVs, so to say?
So we work with all the OEMs, of course, starting with Tata Motors, and that we work very closely with them for the four-wheelers as well as for the public transportation buses. And we support them in all the places that they have supply of these electric buses. We also work with other OEMs, so we are the preferred partner primarily because of our presence all over the country, but also because we understand that the necessity of electric charging infrastructure is not just about putting the charger, but how do you bring the electricity to these chargers? How do you bring the customer experience to the people who are using these chargers? And we give them a seamless experience whereby our app, which is there, helps them to navigate and let them know that where the chargers are installed. These are whether they are fast chargers or slow chargers. Anyone wants to book those chargers in advance, they can do. And the flexibility of payment, you can do any type of payment over there, excepting cash payment. So any smart payment, any app that you want to use. And all these things are done in such a way that the availability of the charger is more than 98-99%. We have a control center in Bombay, which on real-time basis monitors all three shifts. We monitor how the chargers, public chargers are operating, if there is any issue on the payment gateway or issue about the electricity supply in those places. So we are able to monitor it on a much better basis compared to anyone else in the market. And as a public utility, we understand our responsibility of ensuring that availability of supply of electricity and the charger is very, very closely linked.
The other part of EVs would be batteries, and there are a lot of battery chemicals which are required. Right now, India is quite dependent on imports as well, but government has come up with a lot of initiatives, be it for EV adoption, be it for rare earth minerals. How are these shifts influencing Tata Power's strategies? Because for charging, we will need that battery as well, which is right now we are not domestically so dependent on that. We are still looking at imports. So how is Tata Power's strategy designed around that battery?
So basically, the battery is an issue which the OEM has to sort it out. In our case, if it is Tata Motors or any of the other OEMs, they need to get the batteries. We have a company in the group, TACO, which imports the cell and makes the battery. And they have been the one who have been supplying to Tata Motors as also to other OEMs. We have a group company, Agratas, which is looking at setting up a manufacturing facility to make these cells, and of course the battery combined battery solution will be given by TACO and others. So I think there is an ecosystem which is being developed, whether it is for the battery or any other component that is required in electric vehicle. Also, I think what is important is that the sourcing that we have been dependent on, that is being addressed through the PLI scheme of the government. So government has supported many of the people who would be setting up these manufacturing facilities to ensure that these are made in India for India, and we can meet the expectation of 2030 and 2035 in terms of electric mobility.
And considering what's happening globally, it's the need of the hour to just
absolutely.
ensure that we make in India as well. And while we're talking about that EV growth, you said right now it's just 4 to 5% in terms of usage. The collaboration is not only required with the government, but you would require it with, say, fleet operators, automakers. You spoke about it, how you are in touch with all the OEMs, tech innovators as well. In that entire ecosystem, can you talk about your partnerships with fleet operators? You spoke about Tata Motors, there's MG. How are you building that integrated ecosystem for consumers to be able to use EVs more effectively?
Absolutely right. When we got into the business of EV chargers, we had to get someone to make these EV chargers. And we collaborated with some of the partners, and they came with smaller size EV chargers. We wanted faster chargers, so they came with the faster chargers, which are the 25 kilowatt and the 50 kilowatt. The smaller ones are the 7.2 and 11 kilowatt chargers, which are the slow chargers. Then we wanted smarter chargers, so they came with more designs of wherein on real-time basis you get information on the charging infrastructure. We wanted the payment gateway to work. We worked with TCS on that to come up with a solution which will allow us to use multiple payment gateways. Also, the app that had to be developed, the app was again something very new and customized to Indian requirements. So I think we have over a period of time collaborated. There have been many startups actually who have worked with us in this space, and we continue to support them in terms of what sort of new technologies they can bring, how the smart metering can be done so that they can get the benefit of lower tariff, where many of the states have special tariff, electricity tariff for electric vehicle charging, and these are not the commercial or industrial tariff. So again, how do you ensure that they get that benefit, and to that extent their cost of charging comes down? And to give you an idea that the cost of charging in India is much lower, and especially if you are doing home charging or office charging, or wherever you have a place of work, you have your internal charging infrastructure. It's very, very low. It's 1/10 the cost of the normal petrol car or the diesel vehicle. So I think once the cost of the electric vehicle comes down, more and more people will slowly graduate into going for electric vehicle.
1/10 the cost of petrol and diesel, then and considering that India is so cost sensitive market generally, it should be the reason why they can go ahead and buy more EVs as well. You spoke about digital transformation. You spoke about the app that Tata Power has to ensure that it is seamless payment and you can track it 24/7. I think other than that Tata Power is looking at in terms of technological innovation. We have AI now. What are some of the aspects Tata Power is looking at to ensure that it's more technologically driven as well?
Before I come to that question, you mentioned about the Indian consumer being cost conscious, and we went to a place in Rajasthan and we were surprised that that city, it's a small city.
What is it called?
Chomu.
Oh, of course I know. I'm from Rajasthan.
Okay, so that place has lot of rooftop solar and has lot of electric vehicle. And I was trying to find out, and they said that for us, we use solar power for charging our electric vehicles, and there is no cost to us. So to that extent, they said the issue of so-called average, we don't have to worry because we get our own energy and we charge. So I think that's the type of transformation that we are seeing. The second question that you, of course, asked about the technology. And one of the things that we are now working on is, can we have wireless charging of electric vehicle? So you just come and park the vehicle. There is no need to have the charging gun. It will get charged from the bottom. So that's an arrangement that we are working on. Hopefully in next 12 months time, we'll have a solution. We'll also have super high charging infrastructures so that people talk of that, can we go and have a cup of coffee and within that 10 minutes or 15 minutes can you charge the vehicle. We are working on that, and also to make it very cost competitive, because if you have to have large number of these public chargers where you can within 10-15 minutes charge the vehicle like you do in the filling of petrol or diesel. Can we have that solution? So I think there are a whole lot of solutions that we are working, and we are very confident that many of these technologies will address the concerns of the consumers. Sitting at home, you will get the message that the electricity charges during these hours are low. You should charge your vehicle during these off-peak hours and avoid charging during peak hours. These are the locations where, along with the charging infrastructure, there are certain other facilities we are available over there. So if you have, say, children and you want to go to a place where there's a playground and all that, they'll tell you that also. So I think whole lot of consumer experiences will come along with the charging infrastructure.
That'll be brilliant. Whatever you're saying, if that happens sooner than later, it'll make life very easy for every EV owner. We have a lot more questions for you, but on that note, we'll slip into a short break. When we come back, we'll dive into how Tata Power is building for this tech-enabled future. Some really interesting ideas, so we'll get that going.
Tata Power. Sustainable is attainable. Road to Green.
Welcome back to Road to Green Initiative, a Sustainable is Attainable special edition. We are in conversation with CEO and MD of Tata Power, Dr. Praveer Sinha, and he's been telling us about really cool things of what the future of EV charging would look like. While we are talking about the future of EV charging, how it could improve from current levels, we have spoken about the range anxiety bit as well. Do you own or drive an EV? And if yes, what if we were to fast forward to say 2030? What single innovation or transformation would you like for us to have in the economy when it comes to EVs? And what would excite you the most when it comes to driving EVs?
So first of all, I do drive an EV. I have been doing that for last 5 years, so 2020 onwards. When Tata Motors launched Nexon, I have been the user, and now of course I use the new version of their vehicle, which is Curve. And I find that the great thing about EV is that there's no concept of clutch and all that. So it's just an accelerator and a brake. It's very easy. It actually spoils you in terms of your driving experience. It's noiseless, so sometimes you feel, or the people around you, they don't come to know exactly how it is. And it's still a novelty. I remember that initially when I used to go anywhere, they would open the front side and they'll say, where is the engine and where is it? So there's virtually nothing in it. So I think it's a great invention that has happened, a great thing that has happened. I also expect that going forward, today we are talking about autonomous cars. So we'll have autonomous EVs which will be there, and I would be very happy. The challenge of driving in the crowded roads of Mumbai or Delhi, we can avoid that, and we can have autonomous EV that we can use. I think also the choices of electric vehicles that has to be. We today do not have that sort of choice. We can have smaller ones for city use, we can have larger ones for intercity travel, and especially the longer range of these batteries, if it is there, then the so-called range anxiety will go away. Absolutely, you start wherever you start, and in between, if you want to top up, you can top up. You actually don't finish off everything in whenever you are traveling, and of course wherever you reach the destination will have, and also large number of charging infrastructure. So today it's far and few in many cities. Can we have, like every house, every office space, everywhere you will have. So the penetration of electric vehicle and penetration of EV charging has to improve a lot.
Tata Power is at the forefront of it, so we are sure by the time we are 10 years ahead, we'll see most of the houses having that as well. One generation that has been most talked about when it comes to investments or buying or selling of assets has to be Gen Zs. When it comes to EVs, because now they are, as you said, it's pretty cool. There's no noise, there's no engine, so it's very tech savvy like that. What in EVs do you think in terms of designs, maybe sleek designs or technology would be there? What do you think makes EV a true buy or the best buy for this generation when it comes to Gen Z in particular?
I think they are looking for speed, and EVs have that. Their pickup is very fast, and they are looking for different colors and sleek designs. You don't get to see that today. It is still very, very standard designs that have come. Many of the EVs in future will be the ones which you will use in racing car purpose, and that will catch the imagination of the young generation. So I think we'll have a scenario that 10 years hence, all the Formula One racing will be with EVs and not by any other ICE engine.
Oh wow, that is a different scene to imagine altogether for F1 races to be driven by EVs. Now, when we talk about Gen Z again, it's all digital. So, what are some of the USPs that you think, or as Tata Power, you're using to ensure that more Gen Zs are attracted to the ideas of EVs?
So I think the consumer experience has to be very, very unique, whereby on their mobile app or on their watch they can see how the charging has been done, how much with that charging they can travel. So the route planning as well as the usage of EV charging can be channelized to that extent. So I think there are a whole lot of consumer experiences so that the consumer is able to even remotely able to see and manage their electric vehicle. And I think that will be the real benefit that will come to the Gen Z and also to people who are interested in very, very new type of technologies that they are using.
Even though we are very cost sensitive, we like convenience as well, and that's what technology will help us with, right? Dr. Sinha, always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining us today and talking to us about everything EV and what Tata Power's plans are here as well.
Thank you very much. Such a pleasure to be here.
Okay, and India is leading, of course, the electric mobility revolution with innovation, collaboration, and scale at the heart of this transformation. As we race towards 2030, it's leaders like Tata Power that are helping lay the groundwork. One charge point at a time. Thank you again, Dr. Sinha, for your time today.
Thank you very much.
Tata Power. Sustainable is attainable. Road to green.